Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Druk's Milan Unboxing. I'm Druk's Milan, of course. I'm going to be talking about the show tomorrow evening, Friday evening in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I'm not very enthusiastic about Amir Khan against undersized Billy Dip or Hughie Fury against shop-worn Samuel Peter, but the best fight on that card will be yet another South African trying his luck overseas. Now, we've had Reinu Liebenberg and Toels Mbenge falling victim to some dubious scorecards in Germany. Hopefully it will be better luck for Lerato Dlamini. I think the positive thing here is that neither him nor his opponent are home fighters here, fighting on neutral ground, so hopefully the judges can get it right. Now, it's a clash between two young featherweights in their prime. It's a good step-up fight for both guys. So it's evenly matched. On the one hand, we have Lerato lights out Dlamini, 12-1 with 6 knockouts. He had his breakout here in 2017 when he fought who was then regarded as a hot prospect, the undefeated Sinetemba Bam. Nobody thought he'd win that, and he knocked him out with 1 shot. And then after that, he followed it up with a points win over Simpiwe V12 Vacheko, a former WBA world champion and conqueror Chris John. Very solid win for him. But in 2018 he kind of lost momentum. He was considered lucky by some people to get away with a split decision against Sidney Maluleka. And then after that he fought a Kenyan opponent, won on points over 10 rounds in a sort of a run-of-the-mill fight. Hasn't looked so great as of late. Now, style-wise, he's a very strong, fit, tough, sturdy kind of featherweight. I think the bum knockout sort of flatters him. He's not a one-and-done puncher, but he has respectable power, but I don't think he can depend on power. Pretty much your orthodox stand-up boxer. High work rate as a grinder. That's what got him through against Vacheko. He simply outworked a much more experienced Vacheko over decision and gritted it out. He's that gritty kind of fighter. Now, on the other hand, if we look at his opponent, Dave Penalosa from the Philippines, comes from a boxing family. He's the nephew of former world champion Dodi Penalosa. Also, I believe his family of Jerry Penalosa as well. And he's 15-0 with 11 knockouts. And there's nobody in his record that you really take note of. It's your usual range of opponents that you build a prospect against. His last opponent, Cardenas from Mexico, was a respectable opponent, had a winning record. And he stopped him in very impressive fashion in 4 rounds. Now, if I look at the style of Penalosa, besides his family members, if you would ask him who were his role models in boxing, I would be surprised if one of them is not Manny Pacquiao, because he fights very much in that style of Manny Pacquiao. He's a southpaw, and he's got that awkward, aggressive sort of style. He jumps in from odd angles, throws that straight southpaw left with good authority, and then he opens up on the inside. He's a good body puncher. He throws hurtful punches to the body, and he's explosive. Now, usually, if I look at fighters on their records, I tend to, you can look at the records and the quality of opposition, and then you can look at the form book, how they actually physically look in the ring. And I tend to side more with the quality of opposition than the guys I fought. Penalosa has yet to walk through fire. We don't know how he will do when he really gets somebody fighting back and is up against adversity, like Lerato should give him that test. So that's a thing. But if I look at Penalosa, this time I'm going to trust my eyes. There's something about him that has that special look about him. He knocked out his last 2 opponents, and these were guys that when they step up against a better class of opponent, they get stopped. So he nearly did what he was supposed to do. Maybe he doesn't hit that hard in the punching power as a mirage, but I'm going to trust my eyes on what I see here. I do think he can hit hard. So for Penalosa, he's got to use that awkward style. He's got that rough, powerful aggressiveness, that unpredictability that many Filipinos have, without that offensive sloppiness for wide punches that a lot of them have as well. He doesn't have that. He's technically quite a bit tighter. So Penalosa has to fight his fight. Lerato Dlamini, he would be well served to keep Penalosa at the end of his jab. You can time Penalosa when he runs in. He can get caught with a straight right. Throw that jab, throw the straight right, try the uppercut, time him as he comes in, and then tie him up and turn him around. Keep that fight on the outside, keep it in a boxing match. Can Dlamini have a concentration and focus to do that for 12 rounds? I wonder, because he sort of tends to fall off track in the middle of fights. So I'm not so sure about that. Now, if I'm pushed for a prediction, I have a feeling that Penalosa is going to break through at some point of a very competitive ding-dong sort of affair and manage to stop Dlamini. I hope I'm wrong. Nobody expected Dlamini to beat Bum. Not a lot of people expected him to beat Vecheka. So hopefully he proves me wrong again. I would love Dlamini to win and reverse the fortunes of the South African fighters. But my gut feel says Penalosa. I hope I'm wrong, but let's see. Please leave your comments below. Hit the subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter at DrooksOnBoxing. And go to ringtv.com and subscribe to the Bible of Boxing Ring magazine. Until we see each other again, keep those hands up.